My mic was muted. Sorry about that. But this is my second time ever doing a live stream, so people that are watching this a little later on, I apologize about that. I'm just posting this on the Reddit. So what did you think of Charles's live stream, Roadrunner? Hello. We are talking Cardano, Xander. I don't talk about anything else. For sure. I'm just posting this real quick and then we can get started. Can you guys hear me now? Hello, Gabby. If I said your name right. Hello, Digital Turtle. Hello, Xander. Can you guys hear me now? Everything going wonderful? Move this over real quick. Okay. The ITN lives on. I love to see it, man. I do have a couple things I want to talk about today, and then I'm just going to lead this into an AMA, kind of like the man, the myth, the legend Charles does himself. So yeah, I already said 1 minute while viewers join. So why am I doing these? The reason to do these is kind of to interact more with my viewers. I would like you guys to get to know me a little bit more, and I just think this is the best way to do it. The more you guys get to know me, I think the better, and you'll understand where I'm coming from with my videos and stuff. And then I kind of want to have something other than my main videos, because all of my main videos are kind of educational. So I kind of want to have something just relaxed where I can talk more about myself and my ideologies and the ideologies of my stake pool. Because that's what this is about at the end of the day is I'm going to be using your guys' ADA as votes with my stake pool when Voltaire comes out. So I think the ideologies of stake pool operators need to be instilled more. And that's kind of what these are going to be about, is you guys getting to know me so that you can see if that I have similar ideologies than you. And then also people that are watching this non-live, I'm not sure if I want these to be watched that way. I'm going to leave them up because I need the watch hours to monetize my channel. I'm going to try to make them entertaining, and eventually I would like these to be like a main part of my channel where people enjoy watching them. People like maybe listen to them like kind of when they're biking or something, you know what I mean? But for right now, they might not be entertaining enough to do that. The entertainment part comes with more of the interaction. And then I also made a Discord channel. You say pools don't vote? Teach me. Maybe I misunderstood that. I need to hear more about this. That's a pretty big thing that I had messed up. In my head, that was like even in my original stake pool operator video, that's what I announced. I'd like to hear more about that entertainment. So how do the votes work? Is it just people in the ecosystem? I thought it was kind of like the United States where the delegators kind of choose the pool and then the pool votes. One Coinbase for T-ADA? Yeah, you don't need Coinbase for T-ADA. Another thing that I made today was a Discord channel. What the Discord channel is going to be for, it's going to be mainly for people that need help with either creating their own node or they just want to talk to me. And then also on mobile right now. Okay, I'll look it up later and I'll make sure I don't mention that and spread false information anymore. I appreciate that. Sometimes I need a checker. A vote is kind of a smart contract. So the Discord channel is going to be mainly for people that want to see pool stats. So how many blocks we achieved the day before, if there were any slot battles. There's going to be like a little text channel that no one else can type in where it's just a daily, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. And then I'm also going to have support channels where people can help each other out. It's not going to be like trying to oppose the Telegram channels or anything. I just want to have another outlet for people because those do get pretty spammed. And then I'll personally come in there and help some people if you really need it with either Cardano node or with the node on the ITN, even though that's going to be changed here soon. And then I'll have a couple voice channels in there in case people want to help each other out via voice because it is a lot easier. I also wanted to announce my new stake pool operator videos. I'm really, really excited about these. Sorry about that. Gotta get a little nicotine to get me going. But so I hired someone to do the branding for my channel and for my stake pool. So here in a couple weeks, there's going to be a big shift over from like in the quality of my videos. Currently, I kind of just wing everything. I throw it together and then I just record it and do some minor editing. I'm going to be making a big transition. These are going to be my less edited videos. So for example, my stake pool operator videos, I don't know if you guys have seen those. The big shift that I'm doing is I'm actually going to edit those. I'm going to make them a lot smaller and a lot more concise. I'm going to make sure everything I say, there's going to be a lot less rambling. And then I'm going to do a lot of like jump cuts that you're not really even going to see, just based on so I can be more concise with what I say, and I'm kind of going to write out what I say. And then, so I'm going to try to make the stake pool operators around 15 minutes. So I'm going to take my 30-minute videos, I'm going to shorten them with all the updated material, and then kind of have it like, so like, for example, if you're setting up a Google Cloud server, have that only be 3 minutes of the video. I show you what to do, show you where to click, zoom on where to click, and then on to the next step. We open up the node, none of the loading. I'm going to skip past the downloads, like Cabal Build All, for example. I'm just going to skip past that, skip into the next thing. So I should be able to take my videos and cut them down into 15 minutes and then maybe combine them into one. But these videos are going to take more time to make, and I want them to be actual guides in the sense of, because right now they're just for the test net. I want these videos to be for the actual stake pool. So when people come and they're like, okay, the stake pools came out, people can actually make stake pools now like a month ago. They should be able to use these videos is what I'm saying. And they should be quick and concise. I will keep the Linux parts in there. I'm not going to take them out. The goal of them is still going to be, from anyone who has no experience. My goal is to get you started, to get you to know enough information to be able to use the guides, to be able to know what's going on, while also guiding you through the entire process. Because once you have your node connected is when you can start playing with like building addresses, and then you can do your own Genesis and start staking in your own test net, because you can't do that as of yet. But that's what those videos are for. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to announce that. The guy I got to do my my stake or my branding is really cool. I want to go ahead and show you guys him real quick. He's I really love his work. He did some stuff for the Cardano Foundation. Someone showed me him. Move this out of here. Tell me if you guys like the full screen face or the half screen, and then I can put the note up in the background. It's kind of useless when I'm just talking. I gotta figure out where he's at. But I'm gonna show you guys some of this, because I'm gonna start making this stuff look pretty serious. And that's kind of my point, is I want it to look real nice. I want to look branded. I want to start creating a brand. And then I also want to start interacting with you guys more so you can get to know me. But this is something he put out the other day, and this is one of the main things that made me really interested. And then I'll show you after this the stuff he did for the Cardano Foundation. I mean, to me, that's just awesome. He does logos, branding, animation, everything else. Sorry if I'm not interacting with the viewers much right now. I'm kind of doing like what Charles does, where he has some information he wants to go over, and then he starts interacting. This is what he did for the Cardano Foundation for the 2nd anniversary. I mean, just say no more, man. To have someone like this who's so good at art, be able to work on the stuff for my channel is awesome. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope you guys are too. To there. And then I also finally got around to watching that pledge video. So if you guys have any more questions on that, I got a good understanding of it now. At least I think so, unless I get something wrong. But yeah, I'll start reading your guys' questions. So what did you say while I was going through this? Entertainment said, we'll drop you a message. I really appreciate that. Sorry for spreading misinformation. I am going to get better about that for sure. Raj G said hi. John Hamilton said hi. What's up, everybody? Chris Ray said hello, everyone. Hello. I need to go to analytics, see how much people here. It says there's 29 people here. I really appreciate that. Thanks for coming, everyone. You add your stake pool to your node, I believe, Xander. I want to start a node. Will that give me my own pool? Okay, so Xander, what a node is is it's a verification of the blockchain. That's at least what the leader nodes are. And when you just start your node, you can use the other like Cardano CLI to create wallets and everything, but you're not actually a node. There's more that goes into it. When you launch just a regular node, you're going to have a couple of things that'll be like, let me go ahead and make this bigger since I'm doing hand interactions. Okay. So how do I explain this? When you launch your node, it's essentially the same as launching Daedalus. Daedalus is a node. When you launch it, you can send transactions, you can receive transactions, you can check addresses. And like for example, in the Cardano node, in the Cardano CLI, the way to do that is Cardano CLI, Shelly, and then query, and then the UTXO, and then dash address, and then dash testnet magic. So you can, with the node, you can use that to check how much money is in any address, or you can check all the transactions. You can use that node to peer into the blockchain, but it's not a pool. It has to be a leader node for that. And really the only difference is you have to create a certificate, and then you have to launch the node with the certificate attached. And then after you launch the node with the certificate attached, then your node will be created. But there's a lot more that goes into it. A node is not a stake pool, essentially. So if I didn't explain anything very well, just ask, and I'll iterate more on what I missed. Okay, what did I miss? Isn't there only 1,000 pools? Nope, there's no limit of pools. There's this value called K, Xander, and that is the desired number of pools. That number is going to be set by IOHK and by the people working in the Friends and Family testnet right now. We actually just got a survey that asked us what we think the desired value for K should be. But I think it's probably going to be around 250 to 500, maybe even lower, around 100 in the beginning. Wayne Morgan says, sound awesome. I appreciate it. Exactly. What's the pledge amount? Laughing Cloud said, what's the pledge amount? What do you mean? Like, are you asking for the minimum pledge, the optimal pledge, the maximum pledge? Can someone set up a private stake pool? Raj, yes, you can. You can set up a private stake pool, and then you be the only delegator in there with just your pledge. Blue Collar says, ADA about to blow up. I really hope not, man. I got to collect more of that pledge depending on what it is. Roadrunner said, cool. Gabby said, I'm a designer too, and I'm telling you he's good. Yeah, that's what I had a lot of people message me because all I did was post on Twitter. How many people, can I get some graphic design and maybe some animation work for my channel? And then immediately, like I had 15 different people message me within 5 minutes. And just after looking at all their work, and what's funny is I had to actually go find him. Someone commented and said, hey man, you should check out this guy. So I guess the good designers, you got to go look for them. You know, they're not going to come to you. They're too busy working. What do you guys think about a good amount of ADAs to stake on mainnet? Whatever you think is good enough for you, man. You just got to look at what the % a year you want to earn on that is and how much ADA you have. Obviously, you want to stake all of your ADA, but that's up to you, man. Egyptian Magician said, what about your Roy wallet after the testnet? I'm going to move this chat a little bit closer so it looks like I'm looking at the camera. What do you guys think the stake, a good amount of, oh, I already read that one. Okay, what about the Roy wallet after the testnet? What's next? What do you mean, Egyptian? Like, are you saying, is the Roy wallet going to be on mainnet? Because it is. Digital Turtle said, so can you set up a stake pool without needing to set up a node? No. A stake pool is just a different configuration of a node. Roadrunner said good amount, minimum. Okay, so Laughing Clown's responding to what he said earlier when he said, what's the pledge amount? Okay, so the way it works, the way they explained it in that live stream that I watched earlier is that there is no minimum and there is no maximum, but there's going to be an optimum point. And the optimum point is going to be tied to the K value. And then, let me stop getting distracted by people commenting. But the, so the K value is attached. So say K is set at 200. There's going to be an optimum point to be in that 200 pools. So we have no idea really what that's going to be. In the live stream, they were talking about kind of 100 to 500,000. And really, once you're what they said in the live stream is if you're in the top 200 pools, they all should be earning around the same amount. So there is really no minimum or maximum, but there is going to be a maximum in the sense of you're not going to make any more if you pledge more than that. So, and it's going to be a variable thing based on the average of all of the pledges. So say the average for the max is 300,000. It would be a bad idea for you as a stake pool operator to pledge over 300,000. And that's just because you're not going to make any more past that point. So say A naught is set at 0.10. 0.10 means me at the bottom end I'm going to be making 10% less than you. You at the top end are going to be making 10% more. So if the top end is 300,000 and you pledge more than the 300,000, if you pledge 350, you're going to be raising that average for everyone else, but you're not going to be making any more. So it would be better for you to take that 50,000 if the max is 300,000, get another 250,000 and then pledge the entire thing. That's what you would want as a stake pool operator, because you're trying to build as many pools based on the amount of ADA you have while meeting that optimum pledge in each one. Xander Quinn said, I have 25,000 ADA. How many should I have? Well, in my opinion, Xander, and John, who just said he has 100K, I don't really like posting how much money I have online unless you have it very secure. But I just feel like that adds unwarranted attacks. I like to say I have about 3 ADA, at least 3 ADA to my name. You said how many should I have? It's how many you think that you can afford, and you obviously want to base that on how much you can lose. So just how many you can have, how many you can afford to lose, while also you think that's a reasonable amount to have. There's no how many should I have. It's going to be different for each region. 25,000 ADA somewhere might be an inordinate. It might be a year's salary. You know what I mean? So it's all based on region, how much you can afford. Laughing Clown said, how many stake pools there can be if 1,000 pools are filled up? That's not how much I have. Okay, just wondering, John. Roadrunner says he has 1 ADA. Nice, man. I got 3 times the amount of money as you, man. Okay, yeah, John said that. Yeah, for sure. So how many stake pools can there be if 1,000 pools are filled up? There is an infinite amount of pools. There's not going to be any limiter, so to speak. So if there's 10,000 pools, it's going to be fine. But like I said earlier, there's going to be that optimum number of pools. And you're not going to be making much money if you're not in that optimum number. And that's kind of why the pledge scares me, because if I'm just a little bit below that optimum number, I'm not going to be considered in the top 100, top 200 pools. And I think that's kind of where they're thinking, is around 200 to 250. And they're using that based on the ITN's results. Trade Feeds has 10 Lovelace. Damn, man. I got 3 million, if my math's correct. So I wanted to look at ADA pools to see. I don't even think my pool is in the top 200, so I'm going to be struggling there for a minute. But let's go look. So I'm 298. I'm not really to that 250 mark. I hope I can be by then. And then I also wanted to talk to you guys about stake pool rebranding. I've been thinking about doing some rebranding for my stake pool. PayADA just isn't very catchy. I want kind of a name to bring people into my pool, even if they don't know about my channel yet. And then I'm curious about what you guys think of the percentage for fees. Answer a couple questions while I get replies back on that. Hi Pay, I wondered if you're getting rewards for the ADA you're pledging. Thanks a lot for your contribution to the Cardano project. Thanks Henrik, I really appreciate you saying that. You do get rewards for the ADA that you pledge. Okay, Laughing Clown said the pools will have a ranking sort of thing. Yeah, they'll have a ranking sort of thing, just like they do in the ITN, kind of on Daedalus and on Yoroi. And then there's going to be a bunch of different things that go into that. They're going to show you the pledge, and then they're also going to show you they released a picture of it. I forget where, but it was kind of like a bar, and then in the middle there was like a green to red bar, and based on how many the pledge had, based on the A naught value. It shows that, and it ranks them based on that, based on the delegates, based on if they're saturated, based on the cost for their pool. A lot of things goes into that, but there will be some sort of ranking. What's the ROI in percentage terms you're planning to offer for your delegates in your pool? Raj, the percentage ROI I'm going to be offering to my delegates is the best. Whatever ROI I can offer. Like I said, those top 200 pools are all going to have pretty similar ROI. I want to be consistent with the best stake pool operators there are within a 5% margin. And obviously it's going to be based on the algorithm, whether or not that happens. But from what they said in the live stream, and you guys need to watch that, it's what have been the average ROS with pay ADA for your delegators. It's variable. My 10-day ROI sticks between 8 and 15%. It usually doesn't go much lower than that. How often are the rewards issued? Daily, weekly? Currently in the ITN, the rewards are offered daily. You should set up a donation address for your live stream. I do have a donation address. It's in the description down below. And then also, if you guys would like this video, I would really appreciate that. I think it will spread it around a little bit more. So in the main net, they're saying that the epochs are going to be around 5 to 7 days long. So the rewards are going to be every 5 to 7 days instead of daily like they are now. Can I please turn off those beeping sounds? Yeah, I can do that. I think that might just be my computer. Sorry about that. It's probably someone messaged me on Telegram. I don't have my headphones on, so I didn't hear it. Thanks to you for pointing that out, Cardano Cast. Okay. Did I miss anything? Oh yeah, so... Hey, thanks, Laughing Clown. I really appreciate that, man. Did I miss anything up above? When mainnet, I put a part of ADA on your pool road. Thank you, Roadrunner. I appreciate that. Was the survey for the pledge amount multiple choice? Yeah, it was multiple choice. It was between 5 different options. It was like more. There's like an option that was more than that, and it was like 50,000, 100,000, 250,000, 500,000, and then more. I'm pretty sure, which made me happy. It wasn't like 2 million. You know, my option wasn't the smallest one, so that felt pretty good. Are you interested in voting on the issues in our ecosystem in the future? What type of issues do you anticipate throwing your voice behind? Yeah, so that's what Adatainment kind of just came in and burst my bubble. I thought stake pools were the ones who voted with the delegates' votes based on how many ADA they had delegated to your pool. But yeah, I do plan on throwing my voice behind a lot of these issues, and that's kind of going to be a center point of my YouTube channel. But any issues right now, none. Since the voting system's not even out yet, I haven't taken the time to actually educate on a lot of the issues that we need to be educated on to put my voice behind them. But when that comes, I'm definitely going to be putting my voice behind it. Is every pool getting blocks? Why sometimes getting 0 blocks? If more pools come, what will happen next? So you get blocks based on how many ADA you have delegated to your pool. So you get about 1 block per 3 million. So for example, I have 3 million ADA delegated to my pool. I have 3.5 million, I think. So about every other day, I get a block for about 3 days in a row and then I miss one. I get a block for 3 days in a row and I miss one. So if you have less than that, if you have 1.5 million, you're going to be getting a block every day. It's just relative to the amount of delegators you have. When do we pull our earned ADA off of the test net? I think that date is in August. I want to say August 3rd off the top of my head. I have that in one of my videos, and I also retweeted the tweet on my Twitter. It's just a little picture that shows it. I think it's around August 3rd. Will I consider capping pool participation to prevent saturation? I haven't had any issue with saturation just yet, but currently there is no way to cap delegators to your pool. I don't know if there should be a way, but currently there is no way. What usually happens when people reach saturation is they're going to realize they're saturated and they're going to move some of their ADA to another pool to prevent that. But if that's something that I have to worry about, I'll be very happy about that. I would love to have to worry about having a saturated pool. And I apologize if I look a little greasy. I just went on like a 2-hour bike ride before this. Any info on other other features stake pool operators will be able to offer in the future? That podcast that I just watched with, it's the Cardano effect. It's the podcast where they had everyone come on with Pledge. There will be other features that stake pool operators can offer, and then also other ways that they can make money. But I also did want to ask you guys, what do you think of the current name I have for my stake pool, PayADA? I was thinking about rebranding, and I had a couple names in my head, but I want a new ticker and then a new pool name, and I want something catchy. But I would love to hear what you guys think of that, because I don't think I really built much brand awareness with my stake pool. I've been building a lot of brand awareness with my channel and with my face and with the videos I make and the tutorials and stuff, but I haven't really been making much awareness for my pool, so to speak. So I'm curious what you guys have to think about that. After mainnet, if the staking gets to 70%, would there be a reduction in staking percentage? Yes, there would be. I've heard people speculate that the percentage is going to lower all the way to 4% when there's actually that many people delegating, but we're going to have to see. From my understanding, you technically can have a cap, but it has to be a private pool. Well, if it's a private pool, then you would just delegate less ADA to that. You would have less pledge. You know what I mean? So obviously you can set a cap to your own amount of money that you're putting in, you know. Steve-O said, Doggo pool, Nodes pool, Woof pool. Appreciate that. How can I delegate to your stake pool when mainnet is launched? You seem legit. I really appreciate that. When mainnet launched, the day of, I'm going to have a video, probably early morning, that's going to come out that's going to show you guys how to delegate to my pool on Daedalus, how to delegate to my pool on Yoroi, and then on Ledger if that's an option when it comes out. But sorry, I'm trolling a little bit. Meow. Oh, no worries, Steve-O. You can troll, man. That keeps my comment numbers up, so keep it up, man. And then also there's 37 people here, so if you guys have any questions about anything in the Cardano ecosystem, anything about stake pools, anything about my channel, about Pledge, feel free to comment. I love to help people out. Can you please clarify the translation between the testnet node and the mainnet node? Is there something complicated? I'm kind of new to this, so I don't want to mess up my node by mistake. So, am I pronouncing your name right by saying Gabby? I'm sorry if I'm not, but it is going to translate pretty well. Yep, that's kind of what I requested earlier. But, so the translation is, you're going to have to rebuild your node again, and I would recommend you to do it over and over again, Gabby, so you can get good with the commands. And there's also going to be scripts that you can start that'll probably build most of it for you when mainnet comes out. But the node's going to translate almost perfectly over. There's going to be a lot of changes to the core code and everything, but actually starting the node and all the commands you use to start the node are going to be the same or very similar. I must have missed the poll you were talking about earlier. What was that all about? Are you talking about the poll? Are you talking about the poll where people asked their pledge value? Because that was just for stake pool pioneers. That's why you missed it, probably. Okay, cool. I'm glad I pronounced that right. And then you're welcome. I appreciate you coming here and giving me support, man. And I do have a Telegram if you want to message me on there. I'm not sure my handle, but if you're in the main Cardano communities, you can probably just search Peyton or in there or Big Pay and I'll come up. I'm the only one. What do you think the stable price for ADA is in the future? I've got no idea, man, and I'm not really willing to speculate. I don't like Charles said the other day, like if you don't know if you guys watch his AMA, I usually watch him or listen to him on bike rides and stuff, but he doesn't even look at the price, and neither do I. It goes up and it goes down. If it's at a good price, I'll buy some more. I'll be honest and tell you guys my price, not financial advice, but my good price is 3 cents. If I see it at 3 cents, toss some more money in the pot. But as to where ADA should be, I'm not sure. I have no idea. That takes a lot of thought, and I don't have that much thought, to be honest. How hard is it running a stake pool? Can you do it on your Windows PC? You will be able to eventually do it on your Windows PC, but you want to do it on Linux now, and you should probably get used to those because it's built for Linux. They're not really doing any IT support or anything for people on other operating systems. Lucian said, okay, so an optimal stake pool. Did I answer your first question? Oh, no, I didn't. So how hard is it actually running a stake pool? Getting a node up and running isn't very hard at all. There'll be scripts for getting a node up and running. Actually running a stake pool, in my opinion, if you're willing to learn, it's not that hard. You just got to put the hours in like you have to with anything else. But if you do put the hours in before mainnet comes out, I think you'll have enough experience to actually run the node. But like I said, you have to be willing to learn. You can't just be willing to watch my videos, type in a couple commands, and expect that to be all you need to know for it. It is kind of a set and forget kind of thing, but there's a lot of learning that you have to do up front, you know. And as a stake pool operator, I think you guys should be willing to do that for the integrity of the system. So Lucian said, okay, so an optimal pledge will give the best returns. However, once a pool is saturated, it will become undesirable for new delegators. It seems to me that pools with an optimum stake will be the first pools to get filled, and the new delegators will have to select a non-optimal pool in order to get a high ROI, right? Not necessarily. So there's going to be an optimal number of... Hold on, let me fix this real quick. The reason I say not necessarily is because there's going to be an optimal number of pools set. So say it's 200. That means the ROI on all 200 of those pools is going to be pretty similar. And there's going to be an equilibrium that happens over time. And the equilibrium is going to be down to these last 200 pools based on operating cost, based on the amount of pledge they have, based on the fees they're charging. It's going to be, there's just going to be this drive towards lowering the cost of your pool if they set the A0 value low. So what's going to happen when pools fill up is it's going to give people the incentive to kind of migrate their stake over to another pool that's also secure, that also has good ROI, and that's going to be that optimum number that they set. Because that number is going to be based on the K value, or the saturation value is going to be based on the K value that they set. I'm sorry if I'm not explaining that very well, but it's to get a better, if your pool's saturated, you're going to have to go to a second pool. So if I deal with this problem, which I don't think I will, I mean, I'm going to be amazed if I do, you can always just delegate your ADA to my second pool until the other pool becomes less saturated. And then I'm going to do things on my pool, like on my Discord channel that I just announced. I'm going to go ahead and paste that in the chat. So if you guys have Discord and you would like to join, I just made this. I'm going to be doing a lot more to it here soon. I'm going to go ahead and paste that link into the chat. But right now, it's just going to be used for support, and then eventually I'm going to have stake pool notifications, and then like if my pool gets saturated, for example, I'm going to send a notification in the Discord. I'm going to tag everyone so you get a notification on your phone or on your computer that says, hey man, my pool's saturated. You need to go somewhere else. I don't think I'm going to have that problem. I would love to have that problem, but I am going to think of that in case it does happen. Ryan said, you're a great dude, Pay. Really happy for you. This whole thing working out so well for you. Super Chat's available. I don't know what Super Chats is. Is that like a YouTube thing, a live stream thing? Which pool is the best? I think Super Chat's where you donate money to kind of get a pretty thing, like a nice little chat. Right now I am taking donations in ADA and also BAT, but I can set up that Super Chat thing for you for the next live stream if that's something you're interested in. Who's the young lady that keeps walking around in the background? That's my girlfriend. I think the saturation point would be around 3 million for each pool. Do you mean total delegation or do you mean pledge? Are you using AWS for your stake pool? What are your estimated monthly costs? I use Google Cloud currently. I'm going to be switching either to a hard node at my house or I'm going to be using Google Cloud more. I'm currently using Google Cloud just because they offer a free credit that gives me time to experiment. Monthly cost, it all depends on what you do. You can go, I mean, it depends on what you consider, because if you're a millionaire, your time is worth a lot more money than my time is as a non-millionaire. So you can write your pool cost as $100 an hour for every hour I spend. So pool cost is it's a very variable thing depending on your scenario. And it also depends on if you want to consider your network costs at your home network, or if you just want to consider cloud cost. I mean, you can run a stake pool using a cloud server for probably $40 to $50 a month, but that's not considering your own time and your own time that you spend learning Linux or the CLI. Saturation on the ITN is 125 million. Yeah, that's what it is on the ITN. I think it's probably going to be around 100 million or higher. It's probably going to be much higher, I think, on mainnet. If they have the pool set to like 100, I mean, it could be as high as a billion. You know, they could make it that high if they wanted to. Super Chat is the ability to donate to get your questions answered, though you answer them all at this time anyways, so it would be easier just a form of tipping. Yeah, that's why I answer all the questions, but if I do have a lot of concurrent viewers, I will set that up, and I'll probably set it up anyway, because I have had a couple people ask about donating. So I didn't get much responses. I'm going to ask the question, where am I from? I'm from Ohio, the land of the great, the corn. I haven't really got much answers about that one question, so I'm going to ask it again. What do you guys think of the name Pay80A? Should I rebrand to something more catchy to try to bring in delegators that don't watch my YouTube channel? And then also, what do you guys think of my fees at 5%? I haven't made really enough money for the time that I've put into my stake pool at fees at 5%. So I am going to need more delegators to lower the fees, but that is something that I'm willing to do. But to me, 5% of your rewards isn't a significant portion for the amount of work I put in, and then also for the amount of work I put into these videos too. You know, so where are you guys from? Are you guys mostly from the United States or from other countries? I am doing this at a time where it's not really easy to access from other countries. Are you running a stake pool? Yes, I am, Laughing Clown. I'm running a stake pool on the ITN called Pay80A Stake Pool. It's a play off my name, and also I kind of just like the people using 80A to pay, you know. So I just made a play on my name and made it that. I am going to be running a stake pool on mainnet as well. Let your vision and core purpose of the pool lead that process. That's what I'm thinking, Cardano Cast. I'm thinking about just trying to do a lot more branding, and then that's why I'm thinking about changing the name to my pool. One of my thoughts, I had this last night, was thinking about calling it ADA Link. It's going to be your link to financial freedom would kind of be the slogan. That was my thoughts last night, but I am probably going to be working on that and working on the branding and stuff. You can have the stake pool name on your channel so we can stake. Laughing Clown, before all of my videos, I show you guys my pool on the ITN. I can show you again real quick. It's not very hard for me to do that. But before all my videos, I do show my pool kind of as like a little advertisement. So this is my pool right here, Pay80A. We're currently at 9.3% ROI, which isn't bad considering we had 15% for probably about 2 or 3 weeks in a row. You guys can find this on the ADA pools just by searching PEY, so pay, and it'll come up. I currently have 3.3 million stake, and my ROI is always above 8 to 9%. The average, I would say, is probably around 12%. But it is a little lower right now just because of having such a good ROI the past few weeks. Because we all do have to play into RNG God. John W. said, ADA Link sounds good. Thanks, man. I like the name Pay80A. It makes me think of pay, which is what we all want to be paid for. Yeah, I kind of liked it at first too. I haven't had a ridiculous amount of success on the ITN when you compare myself to other people, especially when you compare myself to other YouTubers. They all have a lot more delegation, so I was thinking maybe it's my name or my branding, and that's just something I need to work on. I think your pool will grow based on your brand. 5% seems high. There are stake pools at 0.5%. So here's my opinion on that. And you guys can tell me what you think. But there's more to it than meets the eye. a pool making 0.5%, if my pool was at 0.5%, that means I would be making, what would that be, like 5 ADA per block? It's just, that's not even enough money for me to keep my pool up. And I also, like, my goal originally was to say, hey, I don't make any money off YouTube. I don't make any money off making these videos. So if you guys want to help me out, you delegate to my pool. I take a very small percentage of your earnings, so 5%. So, I mean, so if you're making 100 ADA per day, that means I only take 5% of that. So that's 5 ADA. And 100 ADA per day is a lot. But 5 ADA is not much. And when I have such small delegation, to me, my pool is a payment for me making these videos, for me trying to help out the community. And I mean, and currently I'm probably making a quarter of what the federal minimum wage is right now from my stake pool. So for me lowering my percentage, there has to be more coming in from my YouTube channel for me to be able just to pay for my pool staying up. Because initially I was paying out of pocket for all this. You'll be clashing with the link community on the promotion side. I did think about that. You don't want to be associated online with their campaigns on SM. What are their campaigns on SM? I haven't minted a block. Don't let yourself down. No, I'm really happy. My goal originally was to make enough money for the stake pool to pay for itself, and I did that. And I'm really happy. I'm happy with my delegates, but I'm saying now I'm trying to push towards having the pool be paid for, but also having a revenue for me to make these videos, because I want to be able to make these videos and not have a job. But eventually I'm going to run out of money and have to make a job, right? Or I mean, have to get a job. And my goal was to have the pool pay for my time to make these videos while also keeping the pool up. And that might be a pipe dream, but that was my goal originally. But that's why I think 5% isn't too high, you know, because you got to think about all the other stuff that goes into this. What am I missing? Okay, so Rick, for instance, was early making vids on ADA. You can compare to that. Yeah, so Rick, he has a lot of delegation. We can go look at that real quick. But he was making videos a lot earlier than me, and I think that's why he's had a lot more success. And also because he's an older figure and he looks more serious. And I think people want that when they're dealing with a financial operating system. But I'm pretty sure I can find him by typing in Digi. Yeah, like his pools are doing great. 97 million and 46 million. I mean, he's got 50 of my pools. He's making 50 times the amount I am off of this. And we both, his audience is a little bit bigger than mine, but I think I'll catch up to him here eventually. But yeah, and he's earned it. He's been making videos a lot longer than me, but that's why I think 5% at the amount of ADA I have delegated isn't very high. And as delegation goes up, then when I'm looking at my profits, I can obviously say, okay, I can lower this. But currently at 5%, it is barely just enough for me to keep my pool up, for it to maintain itself, for me to break even. And it doesn't pay for my time in these videos or for my learning or anything else, which is fine. It is all speculative, but that's just my argument to why aren't my fees 1%? You know what I mean? I would love to hear what you guys think of that. Let me flip back to this. Nostradamus says Rick is a clown. Don't compare to your great content. I like Rick. Rick's a cool guy. On social media, tags, etc. Oh, I see what you're saying. I didn't understand what the SM went, but social media makes sense. I should have just thought of that. Stevo said, I've thought about doing like 1% to get on and then charging 5% and then changing it to 5%. To me, Stevo, that seems a little bit not genuine, if you know what I mean. Because then, like, obviously a lot of people are going to see that, and if you don't announce that in the beginning, then they're just going to leave, you know. For me, I would like to start off the fee at, to me, what seems like a reasonable amount for everyone. You're losing 5% of your rewards for just clicking a button, and you're also helping me out for my channel. And then as I make enough money, I can lower it to 4%, lower it to 3% based on the amount of delegators I have. Because, I mean, if I have 100 million delegated to my pool, I don't have to have 5%. I can do 4, I can do 3. That's very fair because I'm making enough money to support my pool and support myself. What is the controlled stake of ADA on your pool? It's 3.33 million. Snake said, stake pools at 0.5% have 100 million delegation. Some people will simply delegate for max profits. People will delegate for max profits, and that's why like I'm trying to add, because you got to think about it. People make pools and say, hey, all of your fees are going to go to this cause. They're going to be supporting villages in Africa, whatever cause you can think of, COVID-19. And people make these pools and say, your percentage goes to this. That's kind of what I'm trying to do with my pool. Even though it's still a small percentage, it's not taking 50, it's 5%. I'm saying your 5% goes to supporting me, my stake pool, and my channel. And in turn, I can support the community more and more. I can spend more money in my branding. I can spend more money advertising my videos and hence advertising Cardano. I can also spend money like making my videos better and making them more educational. You know what I mean? Nostradamus says, already 10 ADA rewards and ITN with pay. I really appreciate you delegating to my pool, Nostradamus. I've seen you a lot before. Are people even going to notice? Are you saying, are people going to notice the difference in percentage, Steve-O? I wouldn't want to delegate to someone not making money. There are a lot of people like me. So are you saying like you don't want to delegate to like a YouTuber not making money or a pool not making money? Because I understand that, but I would want to delegate to someone who gives me within a small margin a good amount of returns, the same as everyone else, but I wouldn't mind giving them a few percent to support their content. That's my thoughts. I could be wrong on that. And John W. says, Rick is the man. I agree. What tech are you using to host your stake pool? Cloud tech or physical server? Raj, currently I'm using a cloud server, but I'm thinking about switching to some hardware. I've always loved building computers. I've always just enjoyed learning stuff about that. And I don't have to learn anything on the building computer side, the hardware side, the Linux side, or the Node side, but I would have to learn a little bit about network security, and I'm willing to do that. So it's either going to be one or the other. I will announce that before mainnet comes out, what I'm actually going to be doing. But I've been thinking about building another computer to set up in my house to do that. But currently I'm using a cloud on the ITN. Get a job, dude, then maybe I'll help you out. Asking for help so you don't have to get a real job, a bit bogus. Pools are supposed to be competitive. That's not really what it's about, Michael. I have money. I can support myself. But what I'm asking you to do is support my pool so I can make these videos to support the community. I don't need a job. That's why I don't have one right now. I'm actually getting education at a public university for computer science. I have been for a couple years. I'm almost going to complete my degree. But until then, I would like to spend time educating myself, educating the Cardano community in that time before I do get a job, and then also host my stake pool alongside that. The knife cuts at both sides, Roadrunner says. I would like you to explain that a little more. Steve-O said right. And also, Michael, you have to realize that what do you think all other stake pool owners are doing by having your delegation? The only reason the fees are smaller on another pool, Michael, is because they're making more money than me. That's why their fees are less. They're determining as a stake pool operator saying, if I have 100 million, then I can only charge 2% and still be making a ridiculous profit off of just you, Michael. So everyone in this ecosystem is all trying to be competitive. And this is my competition. I'm making YouTube videos, I'm advertising myself, and I have more reach in the community than a lot of pools, and it's not working out as of yet. And that's why I'm having this discussion. You might be conflating the purpose of fees and the fixed cost. What do you mean, Cardano Cast? Let me clarify. I want to make money, but I want the stake pool operator to make money too. Otherwise, will the pool be run well? Okay, so John, there's a set cost for running the pool, and I have enough money to maintain my pool for years to come. So no matter how much money I'm making, I'm still going to be giving 100% of my time, 100% of my effort, and my pool will always stay up. I'm always going to have the money, even if I'm not making it, to keep the pool up. But this is my way of being competitive. Just because a stake pool operator is smaller and has less delegation does not mean that they're not as tech oriented and their pool won't do as well and you won't make as much money. Consistently, smaller stake pool operators have been making more money on the ITN. Or perhaps they started off as a loss as the leader. Start off small at a loss in hopes that more people will join. Running a low a low pool fee to boot. And to me, 5% isn't that big of a fee. A lot of people, mostly delegators, they don't agree with that. But to me, 5% isn't a lot, especially for all the time and the effort I put into my stake pool, and to keeping it up, and to making sure it's secure, and to making sure I don't miss any blocks. Everyone who has watched you understands that you don't need a job and that you don't need to explain yourself either. Ignore that noise, man. This is my second live stream, so I am going to get trolled a little bit, man. I am going to respond to the trolly comments, but also I do like to hear criticisms of my channel thus far, you know. So there is a medium balance, but the more people I have watching these live streams, the less I can drown out the trolls, so to speak. And I'm not saying he was really a troll either. I mean, the whole "you get a job" thing was a little trolly, but I mean, like, it is whatever. It didn't hurt my feelings, you know. My argument is in favor of you charging healthy fees. Yeah, I'll definitely keep what you're saying into account, John. I've heard that opinion from a lot of other people, and that's why I'm asking this, man. It's not to say, hey, my fees are this, and it's not going to change. I was just proposing why I charge the fees that I do. I was proposing my business plan on the ITN, and I was asking what you guys thought of that. And I will take your opinion into account, John, and I appreciate you being here today. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying, Roadrunner. Oh, okay. I misunderstood what he was saying. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was trying to do. Is 5% isn't much higher than all the other fees. I mean, it's 5 times the amount of 1% pool, for example. But I mean, what has 1% pool done for the community other than create blocks? I mean, maybe they've done more and I don't know about it, but I haven't seen any GitHub guides or articles or videos or anything from them. You know what I mean? So this is my way of being competitive, you know? Vityaz says, you're a good speaker. I appreciate that, man. I'm going to keep working on it. I'm going to get better. John says, yeah, keep it up. You're trying to run a business, basically. That's exactly what I'm trying to do, John. And I'm paying all these upfront costs. I'm putting all of my time in without being paid for it, based on the money that I've made on other revenues. And that's what I'm trying to do, is run a business. And in the beginning, it always starts out like this. And we got to all try different things and then find that equilibrium, you know? Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're an ADA troll, Michael. I'm saying that you're a big pay troll. You know what I mean? Just tell me to get a job just came off a little trolly. You know what I mean? Godhand said, I'm in the house. Welcome, man. I appreciate you stopping by today. It says there's 42 concurrent viewers. I just want to stop for a second and say I really appreciate you guys all coming by today. The average watch time is 8 minutes. That's incredible, man. If you guys have any questions on my channel, my stake pool, the Cardano ecosystem, or just anything that you don't know, you can't figure out, feel free to ask. Nostradamus says, you are doing perfect as long as you don't recommend to use dictionary words for passwords as Rick broadcasted live. Rick is a dangerous guy sometimes. I haven't, it's hard for me to stay up to date with everyone, but I think everyone can, it's easy for everyone to make a mistake, especially when you're live all the time, because most of his content is live. And that's kind of why I'm like easing into this whole live thing, you know? I think big pay plus 1% fee equals 100 million delegation. Could be. It could be, but who knows? My content could get better, and it could have more reach in the community, and maybe I could do more, and I could do things like hire animators if I have a 3% fee at 100 million. Maybe I could have other people on my channel make animation and content that I couldn't make for viewers that aren't technologically oriented. You know what I mean? So you could come in and say, I have a video, I'm sure it's been done before, but I would like to do it myself. What is Cardano? With cute little animations about Voltaire, about Shelley, everything that's coming, and it just all be so perfect and beautiful. And that's what I can do while having higher fees at higher delegation. But I don't want to just immediately say 1%, this is what it is, it's going to always be this way, because I could make better content with more money. You know what I mean? Your social media efforts will pay off big as Shelly rolls out on mainnet. Delegation is not moving much as it was in the early days of ITN. I agree with you, Tony. I think I will get a lot more delegators because my channel is kind of to an audience that wasn't really a part of the ITN. Not all of them, but some of them. And I've had a lot of people say, as soon as mainnet comes out, man, I'm with you. And I look forward to that. You also commented on this suit and tie thing. I think we are past that point where people truly care about that. Keep the long hair and facial hair and that style. It's your signature. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel, especially as I'm studying to be a computer scientist, and in that outlook, like in that job market, it doesn't matter. And I was saying that because there's a lot of people who look at this as just a way to make money. I look at this as it falls perfectly in line with my ideologies. That's the reason I was so attracted to Cardano, was the ideologies involved with it. And some people aren't that. Some people that have a lot of money will still think the suit and tie is the way to go. I'm not going to trust this stupid kid with long hair and facial hair. And that's why I'm trying to find that right balance, is if that even matters anymore. And I'm kind of been leaning towards just fuck it. Fuck it. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to tell you guys how I feel. And it doesn't matter as long as I stay educated and give you guys the right information. Roadrunner says, I think 60% delegation on mainnet. It's possible, man. I really do see that number springing about because, I mean, what did we hit? I think it was like 40, 50% in the ITN. 60% is not unreasonable at all. And that's pretty good for Sybil attacks. Danny Haystack said, hello, everyone. Hello, Danny. I appreciate you stopping by today. You're coming near the end of the live stream. I'll probably be cutting it off. Where are we at right now? We're at 56 minutes. I'll probably go about an hour and 15 just because there's so many people still here. And like we've been getting more and more as we go along. Like I ended about an hour last time because we started dropping off a little bit. But we've been getting more and more steady this whole time. So I will keep going until probably about an hour and the 15 mark, unless we get some good conversations going. Having good values and motivation is important to our business. Otherwise, we'll be like them. Existing system, which we are trying to beat. I like what I hear. Well done. Thanks, Raj. I really appreciate that. Rob said, I just delegated $245,000 to pay ADA. Give it a couple days to see how I do. I appreciate it, Rob. In my opinion, Rob, I wouldn't give it a couple days. I mean, it's a little bit of a biased opinion for sure. I got any water left? Yeah, I do. But it's all based on a random number game. So if you delegate to me today and you stay with me for 3 days, I could have had bad numbers. And because it is based on an algorithm, that will level out afterwards. So 2 days after your delegation, I could have all of the ADA that you missed based on the random number game. And that's why ADA Pools does a 10-day ROI, because 10 days is enough for the algorithm to level out. But either way, I really appreciate it, man. If you leave in a few days, I still appreciate the few days that you're here with me. Money brought me here. The technology will keep me here forever. Okay, I will say that. Money brought me to cryptocurrency, and then the technology, and then the ideologies are what kept me with Cardano forever, you know. You would love to see some content on Marlowe. I need some water. You would love to see some content on Marlowe and using Blockly in the future. I'm going to have to make a note on that. I've never heard of Blockly. Where is my pencil? There it is. I want to look that up. I do want to make some content on Marlowe, though, that's for sure. But look up Blockly. Yeah, Godhand, you can stake to me now in the ITN, but if you didn't make it to the ITN, you're going to have to wait until mainnet comes out. And then I'll have videos on my channel teaching you guys on how to do that. I have a small group of... Ooh, Wayne Morgan said that I almost missed one. Did the free Marlowe course on Udemy? Yeah, it was very useful. I thought it was pretty cool, and it's cool they released that for free. I mean, it makes sense that they would, but I just thought it was cool that they're willing to do that. I have a small group of friends and family, about 2+ million ADA ready to be staked. Some missed the snapshot. Happy to head your way, and these videos will be huge for you. Time invested will be worth it. I hope so, Ryan. And even if it's not, man, I really enjoy helping the community. And if if in 6 months it's not worth it and it's not paying off for me, then I'm still going to be doing it, you know. Is there any number you were shooting for logistically? Just as much as possible, honestly. I mean, my sights are the stars, man. I'd love to reach saturation. I would love to reach saturation, and then me think about, is it viable or is it not viable? Is it necessary for me to buy a large sum of ADA to start another pool, to get another pledge going? I would love that to be the way it works. That's my goal, is saturation. And my goal is to expand this YouTube channel a lot too, man. I just I'm kind of limited right now by the amount of people that are in the Cardano ecosystem as far as YouTube goes, you know. But I would like that back. But thank you for getting me water. I appreciate it. I can't eat stream, but I appreciate it. I'll eat it afterwards. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think I'm limited monetarily by YouTube just based on how many people are in the Cardano ecosystem. And I think a lot of other Cardano YouTubers are too. But as soon as Cardano grows, I think we're not going to have an issue with that. I think, I mean, a lot of other YouTubers that do cryptocurrency videos on all cryptocurrencies, they do just fine. They get the viewership, and I'm kind of also shooting for that too. I don't want the stake pool just to be the only way of revenue on my channel, because I would like to lower fees for everyone, but currently that's how it is. Ryan says, tell your girlfriend that she's got an amazing dude from someone who's never met either of you, and not to think that you're crazy. Deal with it. Not to think you're crazy. Deal with it with my girlfriend daily. Yeah, it is nice she doesn't think I'm crazy about my cryptocurrency ideologies. I've spent many hours explaining it to her, and I think she's starting to understand where I'm coming from now. Xander said, can I stake now? No, but you can stake soon, unless you were there for the November 1st ITN date. November 1st last year, by the way, you could participate in the ITN. And then some water on my lip. And then if you weren't there for November 1st, then you can stake here in about a month or two. And then I'll have all that information on my channel. I'll be screaming it loud and clear for you guys, I promise. I need to read your first message, Red Runner. ITN goes according to Charles. He found it a waste to throw the code away. Yeah, he did find it. And I mean, I was thinking the same thing too. They spent so much time and they end up doing such a good job. I mean, my node on the ITN runs beautifully. I mean, obviously I check it every day, but I don't have to. Like, I check it just for the novelty of it. Like, it's running so well, so clear. I haven't had to do a restart in forever. Like, it's so nice. And it is right that it'd be stupid just to throw that away. Also, if you guys are still here, I really, really appreciate if you left a like on this. I'm not sure if it even shows me likes on here, but it shows me afterwards. I appreciate you guys. It doesn't, I don't think it shows me. Yeah, it doesn't. Either way, I appreciate it. Okay, I gotta go back up. Manual Flagshift said, you were doing a major mistake on YouTube. Use keywords like Cardano and ADA in your title and in your description. You're probably right, man. I usually do tags that, my tags include Cardano and ADA, but my titles usually don't. My videos are centered around Cardano right now. So like, that's why like my titles are already, so there's a max 100 characters and my titles are always 98 to 99. So adding Cardano or Haskell or like little keyword jumpers, it fills it up. And I could have added it to here, and you're probably right about that. But that's kind of my thought process on that. The next comment was, one thing to consider, you have a lot more value for the same reasons that your channel is not as popular as others. The fact that you're answering every question with your knowledge is worth a lot. Yeah, that's why I wanted to do these live streams, man. I appreciate that. I started crypto in 2013. It's not a waste. It is definitely not a waste. Drop puzzle type pieces and writes the Haskell code for you. Explain that a little bit more, Wayne. I appreciate your comment. Raj says, well, saturation means low return, I guess. Delegates may leave to other pools. Okay, so saturation does mean lower delegation, and some delegates will leave, but if I do reach saturation, I can just start another pool, and then my delegates will perfectly balance between the two pools. And if that gets to that point, I'll deal with it. I do let her know, Ryan, for sure. The only thing that would cause strains is how much time I've been putting into this lately. Jason Mercer said, I feel the same way, man. Thanks for coming by. He's got a good point. Don't need anything to be clickbait, but you got to pay attention to SEO too. That's everything today. Yeah, it is. Honestly, the biggest help for me so far, and probably the reason why you guys are all here today, is it's been IOHK and Charles. They both have been retweeting my stuff. And then I also made a Twitter. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, it's big__pay. I do all of my notifications and updates. I've been pretty active on there lately. But Twitter has been the biggest help for me. Oh, I didn't send that Discord link? Sorry about that. I'm going to be announcing that in my new video. So you guys are going to be the first access to my new Discord server. There's going to be a lot more coming to it. It's in its infancy stages right now, but I'm going to go ahead and send that link for you guys. But yeah, you guys can always feel free to DM me on there too. Don't bother me. There's that in there. Yeah, Steve-O said, guys, if you get to saturation, there's really no need to worry. You're doing very well. That's what I'm saying. I'm such a small YouTuber that me actually making it to saturation is a very small percentage chance. And if that happens, I'm not going to be worrying about that. I'm going to be worrying about creating another pool and then dealing with that problem. Trust me, I'll get it dealt with. Rob, I'll be honest with you, man. I've got a lot going on in my life, and I don't have enough time to be interested in other projects. I know I should, but because I have a Cardano YouTube channel, I have to spend the majority of my time looking into Cardano. And then eventually, when all of this big workload that we're going through right now with the Haskell code coming out and everything else coming out, I will take some time to look into other cryptocurrencies. But currently, I have mostly Cardano. I do save all of the BAT that you guys send me. I don't get too many BAT donations, but I've been a YouTube channel for 2 years now. So in that time, I have amassed a little bit of BAT. I mean, nothing compared to my Cardano, but I do save all of that just in speculation because I really do like Brave. It just makes sense to have an ad blocker in, and it just says, hey, all of you guys, screw you and your ads and how your ads take our data with them. Screw all that. We're going to make our own ad system. And if you aren't interested, well, you're just not going to make money because all of our users, by downloading our software, just opt out. I think that's really cool. I always supported Brave and I always support BAT. That's one of the only other cryptocurrencies I've made videos about. Raj says, thanks for answering. I appreciate it. Ryan M3 said, similar to you helping out the community, your outreach to the newbies is just as important as the daily aid of people, and SEO keywords will do that. Yeah, you're right. I need to work on that, and this is all a big learning process for me, and I'm going to be spending a lot of time doing that. Ryan said, reached out to you on Reddit. Congrats on being on the tech update stream. That was a game-changing day. Yeah, it was, man. I don't think I ever talked about it, but you guys got to realize how surreal for me that is. Like, Cardano means as much to me as it does to you guys, and actually being a part of the stream, the one announcing at least the most secure Shelly date that there has been thus far. It was really cool to be invited on there. I mean, even though I wasn't there on much time, I didn't get asked that much questions, but it was such a big thank you to me, even though I feel like I haven't done as much as I really could have the past few years. But it was really surreal for me, and it was a game-changing day for me. And it was one of those days where I realized that I have to put more time into this, and I have to take my branding more seriously, and I have to be giving more to the community, and that's what I'm doing. But yeah, it was awesome. And then I will get back to you on Reddit later on, Ryan. Godhand said, a man need to focus on his purpose and lead with action, logic, and reason. She either supports him or don't. If not, then kick her to the curb. Yep, you said it, Godhand. Rob said, thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate just the random little thumbs up in the... Because I think chat rate promotes this video to more people. Like, so the more chats coming through. Laughing Clown said, I think a live stream daily could be great to get more subscribers. Yeah, it could be, but I don't know if I have enough to talk about, man. I think I might be making these weekly. Make sure you guys follow my Twitter. I might be doing some polls later about how often I should do these, about what time is best for most people. But yeah, I will. We'll just say weekly right now. I'll do one next week. I'll give you that promise. We'll say right now, same time next week, Wednesday at 1 o'clock. But it all depends on people's time requirements, my time requirements, and then also everything else. Do you have a virtual reality set up for the virtual summit coming soon? Is the virtual summit going to be... Hold on, I'll get something for you guys. Ah! My bad. I forgot. All right, let me fix that. I wanted to show you guys my index, but I accidentally grabbed the... I don't actually have a real webcam. All the webcams have been out of stock. Yeah, all the actual webcams have been out of stock at every store for the past few months. So, is the focus good now? Okay. My whole goal of that was just to show you this. So if it is like something where we can walk around and talk to each other and shit, then you guys can meet me there for sure. Laughing Clown said, people don't get a daily update on Cardano in details. Probably daily updates would be great. Yeah, is my camera fixed now? Yeah, it looks better. That is something I could look into. Currently, I've been doing these weekly update videos every Monday. What those videos are supposed to be and what they will be is a weekly recap, and I'm sure other people do this, but I'm going to do it my own way, of everything that you've missed day by day in Cardano. And I'm going to be looking through the Reddit, I'm going to be looking through the Twitter, I'm going to be looking through like the development updates. And this is kind of like right now, it's my central point video that's going to be regular, that's going to be happening all the time. And then I've got like a million ideas spinning in my head for, yeah, I have been playing Alex, but a million other ideas spinning in my head for videos about Pledge, about Marlowe, about Voltaire, a bunch of other stuff. But right now, the central point is weekly recap every Monday. I promise. It'll be posted around 1 to 3 o'clock, depending on like how long it takes me to edit and prepare the video. As far as daily updates, I don't know if there's enough content yet in the Cardano ecosystem. If there had ever been a time where I could make a daily update, it would be right now. But by doing weekly updates and then also these live stream once or twice a week, depending on how well they start doing, that could be something that we do for sure. But it's just nothing set in stone other than my weekly update, and then I promise you I'll do at least one of these a week now. But I will be getting everything set up better. I'll be having a nice live stream camera, and because I don't know how bad the latency on this. When I speak, does my like voice come out at the same time? Because I am using my phone for this. We're giving you stuff to talk about. Yeah, see, that's why I like doing this, and I appreciate you guys commenting, because as soon as you guys don't comment, it's really hard for me. Sorry, Ali, I can't read Arabic. If someone could translate that, I will respond to you in English if you understand English. Yeah, I do appreciate you guys giving me stuff to talk about. Hey, Ryan, when Gen M3 do you have? What Gen M3 do you have? What's an M3? Curious about that. I've never heard of an M3. Thanks for the updates. Have a great one. Thanks for swinging by, John Hamilton. I'm going to be wrapping this up soon. You made it the whole time, man. I really appreciate it. I think you were here most of the time. Gnome Nay said yes. Steve-O said all synced up. Oh, okay. You guys responded to what I said earlier. Cool, cool. I'm glad. I was a little worried about the latency on my phone. I'm going to be buying a webcam as soon as they're back in stock. But, I mean, the phone thing works fine for now. Stay with Cardano / ADA. This feels like the early days of Ethereum. I'm going to go ahead and end at 120. We're at 115 right now just because I'm enjoying being here with you guys. Manager Mister, tell me a little bit how this relates with the early days of Ethereum. I also had someone tell me that this relates to the early days of Linux. Just having such a great project, it just reminds them of when Linux was first coming out. And you guys are also here for the early days of my channel because I promise you, with how much I've been working on this stuff, I am going to get a lot better. I promise. So, hope you guys enjoy the early days. It'll get better. So how does this relate to the early days of Ethereum and the early days of Linux if you're around that far? Because I wasn't really into cryptocurrency for the early days of Ethereum. I wish I was. I was just too young. Wayne Morgan says, been staking on Pay ADA for a week now. Keep up the great job. I really appreciate that, man. How have your returns been so far? I think they've been pretty consistent. It feels like the early days of Apple. I wasn't around for that either. This is my first early days, guys. I mean, I was around for the early days of Minecraft. That's about it. Early days of The Last of Us, if you guys have ever played that. And Steve-O said the BMW M3. Yeah, I like BMWs. They're pretty nice. I would like to get more into cars. I would love to get a Tesla, but right now I just feel like with how early on I am financially, I think it's stupid to invest a bunch of money in a car. Not invest, but to blow a bunch of money on a car where I'm at right now. Ryan said, I don't know what an M blank is either. That is pretty funny, man. Just came from my email. I'm going to go ahead and paste that Discord link in there again. So you guys are the first people to ever actually get this Discord link. So I hope you guys enjoy. There will be more coming from that soon. I promise. You said, welcome to Cardano. I've been here for a while, I promise. But I appreciate you welcoming me formally. Wayne said, good returns on the ITN. Glad to support. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you're getting good returns. Hopefully we can have better returns on the mainnet. The early days of Atari. Ron Hill said, The Last of Us is amazing. Yeah, it is. It's currently still my favorite game of all time. I'm still waiting on The Last of Us 2. I really wish it would come to PC, man. I'm sick of this exclusivity. I hate that I'm going to be playing The Last of Us on... I mean, how old is the PS4 now? 7 years? We'll be playing the PS4 on 7-year-old processing power when I have a GTX 2080 Ti in my PC, you know? So... Ryan said, how old am I? I'm old enough, man, I promise. Pay might as well throw for the $100 on Cybertruck. They don't come out for 2 years. Who knows where you'll be by then? Who knows, Steve-O? Maybe I should throw that 100. I couldn't imagine like my first ever new car being the Cybertruck. That'd be so funny. Gabby says, I would wait a few years before getting into Tesla. Technology is quite young in that aspect. Yeah, I agree, man. But if I had the money, like if I had enough disposable income to buy a Tesla right now, I would, just to support the technology. You know what I mean? You put your money where your mouth is, man. It's just how I buy. Like a lot of people think I'm stupid for buying like organic, not organic, but I buy some healthier food at the store, and by me doing that, I'm saying, hey man, I want to see more of this. No more of this this shitty shit you put in my food. You know, and it's the same thing with Tesla. I want to see more battery powered cars. I want to see more money going into this, and the more that people do that, in the long run, it's going to pay off as maybe Ford who cares about Ford? But maybe Ford's going to be like, okay, there's a lot of money coming into this whole battery thing, and that's probably what they're doing right now, and they're going to start making and contributing more to that, you know. And everything Tesla does is open source, so any other car maker can just take that and make the same battery that Tesla has with no issue, and that's what I love about Tesla and their ideologies. Laughing Clown says PS5 is coming up soon. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty excited about it, but I'm not really necessarily excited about it. Let me rephrase that. I'm excited about the PS5 coming out just so I can play The Last of Us 2 in better quality. I'll probably get it, just play that, and then sell it. It's not a very good investment, but... Wayne Morgan said, tripled my stack since the ITN. Can't wait to stake more. I think a lot of us have tripled our stack since the ITN. Gabby said, I agree with you that. Or I agree with you on that as well. Yeah, thanks, man. I would love one, you know, even though it still is in the early days, like you said. One day you'll be super rich and you'll recall your days. I hope so, man. Not necessarily. Like what my dream is just to have enough money to support myself and my family, and then also to run a business. And my dream my whole life has always been to run a business. And I'm kind of doing that in a way now, even though it's not paying yet, but it's all speculative, you know. I'm really happy doing what I'm doing now, you know. But I am going to be wrapping this up. Am I at a minute 20 yet? Yep, a minute 21. So I appreciate you guys making this far. If anyone's watching this not live, comment on the video. I made it. And I just want to see if anyone actually watches these not live. You know what I mean? But I had a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing this same time next week, Wednesday at 1. Make sure you guys join my Discord server. And then also follow me on Twitter for more notifications and to stay more up to date. My videos are going to be posted on there. My live streams are going to be posted on my Discord and my Twitter. And then eventually stake pool notifications and stuff will be posted on there as well. I might start doing stake pool notifications manually every day until I set up. I'll probably just use JavaScript and set up some notifications with Discord, so it'll just ping a message in there with like a bot I make or something that'll tell you guys what's going on. But I'll read these last few things, then I'll get off here. When your channel blows up, you'll need a throwback to these early days. We'll be the OGs of Pay's channel. You certainly will. Charles makes a point to recognize that Ethereum is great, but Cardano is likely better. Are you even allowed to mention Ethereum? If not, take a rip of that pin again. Oh no, I'm allowed to mention Ethereum. I don't have any issues with. They're allowed to. I'm not held to anything. When I'm not like as a Cardano ambassador, they say, "Hey, we like what you're doing, and we're going to give you a little bit of money per video to push you along with their new rewards program they just came out with." But if anything, it just gives me recognition. They don't have, "Hey, you're not allowed to make videos about this." I could start making Ethereum videos on my channel and start an Ethereum stake pool if you can even do that. Someone told me that they're having an incentivized test net right now as well. And you're adding some smoke effects over here. It's pretty funny. But I'm allowed to talk about whatever is essentially what I was getting at. I could make more videos on there if I wanted to. But yeah, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Mark Stopa said fees equals 10%. If you're referring to my stake pool, my fees are at 5%. 10% would be double. It wouldn't be bad. We'll go to the beginning to see what I missed. Thanks, Danny. I appreciate it. But that is the end of my live stream. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.